Gaming, cosplay, endless crowds, and a packed schedule. We were back at Gamescom 2025, but before we could even dive into the madness, we got scammed. Welcome to another shattered nightmare. Today, I'm taking you with me to Gamescom. Our trip started at 3 in the morning with Kjeld and one of his friends / former roommates. For Kjeld and me, it was our second Gamescom, so we knew more or less what to expect. What we didn't expect was arriving in Cologne only to find ourselves without a place to stay the day before the convention began. Somehow these things only ever happen when we are filming. Cursed or clueless, who knows? The only sightseeing we managed to do that day was the Cologne police station. After a few hours of playing the walking simulator, we finally found a new place to stay. Since it was last minute, it was both expensive and inconveniently located. Basically in the middle of an industrial area with terrible public transport connections. At least the bathroom was funny, shaped almost like a train toilet. For our official first day, we came prepared with matching Gamescom shirts. The names were printed on the back. That was an amazing birthday gift from Kjeld. That was also the day we realized just how awful the bus connection really was. Uber became our best friend for the next 4 days. Day 1 was Exploration Day, checking which hall had what and planning what we wanted to see and do later. That's also when we stumbled across this insanely cool booth with clock-shaped bags, and I instantly fell in love. I mean, aren't they amazing? I also spotted a few well-known alternative brands at the booth, so I was already planning a little shopping spree. And although it was only Thursday, the halls were already packed. By the way, here's what Gamescom sounds like. The AAA halls were once again especially impressive. Not just massive in size, but decked out with elaborate decorations, paid cosplayers, and photo spots. The lines, though, are brutal. 2 hours is nothing here, so people come prepared with camping chairs, books, even handheld consoles. I mean, gaming while waiting to game? Why not? One good thing is that you're allowed to bring your own food and drinks, because prices at Gamescom are wild. Like €6 for a tiny portion of fries or €10 for small bubble tea. At €5.50, the slushies were practically a bargain. And delicious, so we grabbed one every day. Day 2 was shopping day. I didn't want to repeat the mistake I made at VGT, waiting too long and missing all the good stuff. The merch area was massive as always, and I also tried my luck at a prize wheel, but somehow I managed to win a calendar 3 times in a row. The guy at the booth was really nice and gave me a notebook instead of the 3rd calendar. 2 years ago at Gamescom, I got a light blue cat plush from a mystery bag and wanted to find another one this year. This time, I found a black cat plush and obviously had to adopt it. I mean, I'd adopt every black cat in this world, so how could I ever walk past this one? We also came across some amazing artwork from various artists. After that, I went back to the clothing booth from the day before, but even though it was only Friday, all the small sizes were already gone. Still, I had a lovely chat with one of the sellers and finally got one of these cool clock bags I was so obsessed with. And the best part, the clock actually works. Right now, it's doubling as decor. I love it when something has more than one purpose. This year, there were several games I was really excited about, including Silent Hill F. You couldn't play it yet, but they had a small cinema with a preview that was very atmospheric. We also spent time in the indie area and tried Cologne, developed by a couple from Germany. It looked really promising, and I totally fell in love with the rat mascot at their booth. Since it was getting late and we had to leave earlier today, we used the last bit of time for photos and clips at various booths. One of my favorites is the video from the inside booth, me with the fluffiest cat while wearing fluffy cat ears. On Saturday, I had to wear the clock bag with my outfit. It just matched too perfectly. We spent a lot of time in the indie area again and discovered a funny photo booth at a Vampire Bloodline stand. Also, we watched some of the stage program, for example the cosplay catwalk, where cosplayers showcase their stunning costumes. I absolutely love how many insanely talented cosplayers show up at Gamescom each year. By Sunday, we got brave and finally tackled the AAA lines. I went with a Misa-inspired outfit that day. Surprisingly, the queues weren't too bad, but we still managed to miss Inzoi by 5 minutes. I already owned the game, but the goodies at the booth seemed so good. Still, somehow we ended up being the very last people allowed in the Resident Evil demo. Every day the line for that game was insane. We queued up with zero expectations, and right after us they closed the line. All of the demos we get to play were really enjoyable, and our longest wait was only about an hour and a half. If you time things right, you can definitely save some waiting time. In the end, Gamescom flew by way too quickly, as always. And even though it's crowded, loud, and ridiculously overpriced, it's just such a fun experience. Were you at Gamescom too? Or would you like to go one day? Do you have something similar where you live? Or are video games not really your thing? Let me know in the comments. I'm always excited to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this journey through the shadows, please subscribe and leave a like. See you next time and stay spooky.